For letter F, we're going to go ahead and take the 4x plus 2 and equal that to 18, and then rewrite that equal to negative 18. And then we solve both. So subtract 2, 4x would be 16, and then divide by 4, and 16 divided by 4 is 4. So that's our first answer. And then secondly, we would go ahead and subtract 2, but here we are given two negatives to add, which is negative 20. Divide by 4, and x is negative 5. Then in G and H, if you look, you see that there is a 6 in front of the absolute value. So we don't have the absolute value by itself yet. So what we need to do is we need to divide both sides by 6. And that gives me the absolute value of 3x. And then if I divide, I get 10. Now, since I have that 3x with the absolute value by itself, I can go ahead and set up two equations. So the first one would be 3x equals 10, and 3x equals negative 10. Divide by 3, we get 10 thirds. If I divide by 3 here, I get negative 10 thirds. Okay. And then for H, we have the absolute value of 2x. So to get rid of that negative 4, this is saying negative 4 times the absolute value. So the opposite is to divide. And I would get the absolute value of 2x equals negative 3. But in this problem, I can stop and say that the answer is no solution, because we know that absolute value can never equal a negative number. So we're just done. We can't solve that. Okay. And then for I, we need to find our absolute value. And we have to decide what we're going to divide by, which is 3. So we have the absolute value of 2x plus 9. We divide, we get negative 2. And again, this is no solution because we can't have a negative. Okay, and then for the last problem, again, we figure out what section is absolute value. So this section here. We have a negative 4 that doesn't belong there, so we have to get rid of it by dividing it. So here, a negative divided by a negative gives us a positive 4. And now that we have this by itself, this section by itself, we can set up two equations to solve. So first, I would have 2x plus 12 equals 4. And I could solve that. So 2x equals negative 8. Divide by 2, we get negative 4. And then we also want to set this equal to a negative 4 and solve. So if I subtract 12, we get 2x equals negative 16. I divide by 2, I get negative 8.